Off. So, hey guys, I'm Bill Feggins with Bill Feggins Academy. We have an awesome opportunity here for a new pre-need career that you guys can look at. And Matt Barr is Vice President of Loyal Christian Benefits Association. Um, and I just want to, bring you guys to this opportunity because it's like one of a kind. The products are great, the premiums are low, the contracts are high. It's a nonprofit fraternal. I mean, you guys will love everything that Matt's going to go over. So I'm just going to pass it off to Matt, let him do his thing. And if you guys need me, you can send me a text or email. I'll put my information on the chat. If you guys want to get contracted, just let me know. And Matt, I'll let you take it from here.
Great. Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. I'm going to do my best here to bring the energy that you and everyone else that you seem to work with brings every single time. So thank you. Thank you for the time today. I'm going to go through, I have a presentation here I want to show you guys. I see some familiar faces on here. Laura, Deb, Mr. Vaughn, of course, Shannon. But for those of you I may not have spoken with yet or that are new, I do want to show you this intro to LCBA, intro to the products that we offer. And some opportunities that we have. I'll get into our church plan concept, which is very exciting and I think new that not a lot of other carriers can provide. And then finally wrap up with our lead incentive program. So, we're doing a lead incentive program with Bill's group. You guys do qualify for that being an agent with his group. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen here and just kind of go through this platform that we've designed. So here is my intro slide with LCBA, right? For those of you who are not familiar, or maybe I did this for your group, I want to say a couple months ago, but just to kind of give you a refresher here, LCBA is a nonprofit fraternal benefit society, okay? We're a Christian-based insurance company. We were founded in 1890. So we're coming up on 134 years old, and we operate under a common bond. So our membership is all Christian based, right? Which when I get to the church concept plan, obviously it's a slam dunk when you go in and talk to church groups and church leaders. We return the earnings from the sales of our products back to our members in the form of member benefits. So I do have member benefits that I'll review here at the end. We do quite a few different member benefits just for being a policy holder. For holding a policy, they're going to get extra things that they would not get with other companies. And then finally, we are in approximately 35 states and well over 35,000 members at this point. So that's a little bit about the company. And then who am I? So I have been licensed for about 17 years. I'm an insurance agent, just like you guys. I understand the issues and the concepts and the concerns that come across your desk or whenever you're working with a client. So I get that. I'm constantly working with Bill and all of our other agency leaders to talk about how we make things better, how we make things more efficient for you guys. We've designed a digital application to do that. So I get the issues that you guys come across, and we're trying to make things better for you guys. I've been with LCBA for 15 years. So I came in as an in-house agent, really just kind of working out of our in-house agency, and then switched to agency supervisor. So I was kind of managing that in-house agency. And then eventually, our vice president of sales retired and they said, it's yours if you want it. So here I am today. I've been doing this since 2019, roughly. So I've been in the executive role for a good 5 years now, and it's been exciting, working through the pandemic and finding new ways to help agents write life insurance. Digital application and remote signature has been a big part of that, and that's what we've designed. So I do live in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is the northwestern corner of the state. So it is way up by the lake. Right now it's about 32 degrees outside of my window. I did see a couple snowflakes this morning. So do not come visit anytime soon. I'll give you the clear when you're okay to come visit. Maybe June. It may not be thought out by then, but maybe June. So I'll keep you posted. Just a side note on that. I was talking to one of our agents, and they said, "Oh, you need to do an agent incentive trip." And they said, "Oh, we need to come to Erie. We want to see the home office." And I thought, this better be like in one of the hottest days in August if we're going to bring agents up here. So we do have a nice lake. We do have beautiful sunsets. We have things we can do on the lake. So maybe one day we do an agent incentive trip up to Erie, and we'll show you to the home office. You can meet the president, you can meet everybody, all those things. But anyways, our product lineup here, okay? We've got 3 main products for you guys to use. This actually fits very well with Bill and his your group, right? So just kind of going through these 3 products, pre-need, as I call it, as we file it as the insurance carrier. This is the traditional pre-need product that is handled through specific funeral homes. So if you have funeral homes in your network that want to offer a product, a pre-need product to their clients, by all means, you can sign up for our pre-need product. Wonderful rates, wonderful commissions on that product. We can teach you more about that. You know, if you want to sign up those funeral homes, you can actually write out of those funeral homes, or you can have those folks write the pre-need for you. Second product would be our traditional whole life. This is probably our newest product. This is on a digital platform. This is fully underwritten using AI, and we create a decision right on the spot. Okay. So think about that. If you're familiar with traditional whole life, if you're familiar with putting things through underwriting, you know, sometimes those can sit for a couple weeks to a month. You know, the underwriter comes back and says, oh, I'm sorry, you know, they were rated, you know, instead of $50 a month, it's $100 a month, right? All of those are pain points. All of those are just snags in your process to try to land that policy. So the traditional whole life policy, we created an algorithm which effectively underwrites and makes a decision on the spot with your client while you're sitting with them, while you're doing it over the phone with them. So speaking to, you know, a lead system, right? With whoever you want to use, if you get a lead that comes through and they need an answer today, you plug their information into the digital application, you're getting an answer on the spot right there. It's done. On a traditional whole life, on a fully underwritten whole life, which is new. You know, not a lot of folks have that option. A lot of folks have, oh, it's digital and you fill it out and then it goes to underwriting and it sits for a couple weeks. Not this type of product. And finally, we have our final expense hybrid plan. We shortened it to FEX just to abbreviate for final expense. The idea here is this product walks and talks like a pre-need product. Okay, so you can effectively talk to a client without being associated with a funeral home and sign them up for goods and services that are roughly about what it will cost to go to ABC Funeral Home, Smith Funeral Home, whoever, and they can assign this policy to our trust, which will, at claim time, pay that funeral home directly within a couple days, right? Just like a pre-need. The premiums are the same, right? The commissions are structured on annualized premium instead of face amount, which is a small nuance there, but effectively it is the same type product. It even allows for, I'll get into the details of each product here soon, but you know, there's a 20 pay option on here. Guys, an 80-year-old can qualify for a 20 pay option. All right, think about that one just for a second. If you want to talk about saving people money or getting them into a product that they can afford, a 20 pay on an 80-year-old, that's not so bad. So going through here just real quickly, the benefits of using our pre-need program. This is through a specific funeral home. We have our fraternal licensing exemption, which I think most of you guys are familiar with. And I could speak to further. I have another slide coming up here that kind of gets into the details. But ultimately, being that we are a nonprofit insurance company, we have an exemption right when it comes to licensing. So if you have someone in your network who doesn't have an insurance license, but thinks they may want to get into selling insurance or offering insurance, many states have very nice licensing exemption rules. In Pennsylvania, you can have someone write up to $200,000 of face amount without them having to go get an insurance license. So they can just register with the state department site. They become approved underneath LCBA, and they can write up to $200,000 in face each year. Okay. If an average policy is, $10,000 face, right? they can do 20 policies per year. That's not nothing, right? They can make a decent commission. They can sell about 20 policies a year. And if they go over that, all we're asking is that they go get their regular insurance license. So that's one of the pieces that comes with the traditional pre-need product. Claims are paid very quickly. We understand in the pre-need world, funeral homes are waiting for those funds so that they can perform their services or buy the things that they need to buy. So we'll turn those claims around very quickly. Obviously, there's growth tied to the pre-need product. There is a digital application for the pre-need plan. It's very simple. It's very clean. It's very easy to use. And obviously it comes with the agent portal, valuation statements for the funeral homes, commission reports, training videos, rate calculator, etc. And then our available states in pre-need. Okay. And I've got a product comparison summary sheet I can send out. Bill can send out to the group at the end of the presentation as well. So that's the pre-need plan. Next, I want to go over the Family Protector 2 traditional plan. This is that newer plan I was talking about. We're using AI data to create an instant decision on a fully underwritten policy. So just real quickly here, 0 to 85 are the age ranges available, 5,000 to 50,000 in face amount. And this policy grows at 5% every 5 years, which is a little bit of a different take on growth compared to, just your regular annual growth rate. This is, they get a chunk built into their face amount every 5 years. So on, $10,000 face policy, after 5 years, they're going to have $10,500 as their face amount. After 10 years, they're going to have $11,000 face amount. So that'll just continue to build as long as they live. Standard underwriting class and guaranteed issue underwriting class, male, female, smoker, non-smoker. And then as far as plan types, you've got your traditional plan type, continuous pay. You've got the 20 pay option. 20 pay option is wonderful for grandkids. Folks who are 0, 1, 2, any kind of child, you pay on that for 20 years, they become an adult, that policy is paid up, and that child can choose to do whatever they want with that product. And finally, single pay. So single pay, if they want to put a lump sum down, that'll purchase them a higher amount of insurance. And then you can see our availability. We've got a good chunk of states this is available in. We are looking into Texas. I know Bill and some other folks have been asking for Texas, so we are investigating that. We'd like to be in Texas soon. Just stay tuned on that. Hopefully that's coming. So there's our Family Protector 2. Next, we get to the final expense hybrid plan, also called our cemetery final expense. We've found good success with this product with cemetery groups in the early days. So we kind of marketed it as a cemetery plan, but ultimately it's a final expense plan that we use. This plan, like Bill was saying, you talk to someone with some health issues, you can get them placed with this product, right? So look right here, single pays 0 to 99. Multi-pays 3 through 10 years would be 0 to 85 ages. And like I said, that 20 pay plan qualifies for any person 0 to 80 years old. So an 80-year-old can receive a 20 pay. That's not too bad. Face amounts very, very reasonable, right? So we go as low as $500 on the face amount. That's kind of unheard of in the landscape when you're talking about life insurance. So really anybody can afford this type of plan up to $25,000. And then obviously you get your growth. So our current growth rate is 2%. We're getting that 2% rate per year on the face amount. So on a $10,000 face plan, after 1 year, they'll have $10,200. Next year, $10,400, and so on. So it just continues to grow in that chunk amount. So standard underwriting classes, and we have a modified benefit class. We have also an annuity option here. So if they are terminal, if they are living in a hospital, they're living in a nursing home, they're bedridden, we can still place them into something. We can put them into an annuity plan if possible. So with this plan, everybody gets something. There's never a decline. There's never an option, never not an option. You always have the ability to place this product. Availability, just like the Family Protector 2 traditional plan, this is available in a good handful of states. And that's our hybrid plan. So fraternal exemption, just want to talk real briefly. I know I've been working with several of you on getting non-licensed folks up and running. And we've traditionally worked this licensing exemption out of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Maryland. So those are where we're most familiar with. If you have a non-licensed person in those states, that's not an issue. We can get them up and running with a fraternal license exemption in no time. That's easy. Some other states that Bill told me this group may be interested in are below the Maryland state rules there. So Virginia is difficult. Their fraternal rule doesn't seem to go as far as other states like Pennsylvania. Georgia, very simple. No, can't write more than 25 policies. DC has a fraternal exemption as well. And there's New Jersey here. So there's different rules per state. And so when you guys come to me with a state and you say, oh, I've got someone who wants to learn more about that non-licensed fraternal agent status, just let me know. I can look at the rules of the state real quick. I need to see how those states want us to coordinate appointing that person in that state, and we can get your people up and running without having to take an exam. They can just start producing for you. So here is the church plan concept, right? Bill's talking about you guys doing grassroots marketing, reaching out to churches. You know, we've got this plan, obviously, right? Christian-based nonprofit insurance company, kind of rolls off the tongue. Should be able to get you in front of some church leadership groups, right? If you just start with that, start with the fact that you're representing a nonprofit Christian-based insurance company, number one. Number two, we've designed this product with either the final expense hybrid plan or the Family Protector 2 plan, where the church, where the church can be named as owner, payer, and or beneficiary. You can go into an entity, church leadership group, and say, hey, you can insure your entire church. You can become the owner of that policy, and you can make your church the beneficiary. So they may want to do all three. They may want to just pick and choose. Maybe they just want to take out church plans for their leadership. I know in a lot of different church religious sects, there's different rules that apply. So we were with a Catholic group for a while, and this Catholic group always wanted to make sure their leadership had $50,000 of coverage, no matter what. So guess what? The church paid for it, right? That was part of their rules. That was part of their system as a church. So we got calls from these different religious groups saying, hey, we got a new pastor. We need a policy. So, you know, something as simple as talking to a church leadership group and saying, hey, do you have rules on getting benefits for your church leadership, right? I mean, that's a great door opener. Talking about this plan, talking about having the church pay for it, also having them be the owner, because technically, right, the pastor works for the church. The church should be able to own that policy on their pastor. So great door opener, great way to kind of get the conversation started. We've got folks that work with church groups that are looking to have the church insure their congregation, right? So you want to talk about, you know, commissions and growth and getting a policy in the church. You insure 300 congregation members, right, through the church, and maybe the church pays for some of that. Maybe they're listed as a beneficiary. Maybe they're 10% beneficiary. You know, you're going to be that church's best friend. So there's plenty of different ways to market this concept, but we do have this built, and using the backing of LCBA and the Christian aspect of who we are should really help you guys in the long run. We've created some marketing materials for you. So we've got a couple pieces here. We've got this reply card that's on the left-hand side. You know, gives a nice proverb here. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. So just speaking to the idea of life insurance and leaving something for your family, leaving something for your church. You know, they check the box if they're interested. You know, I'm going to bring a ton of these down. When I come down for my training, Bill, I'll bring a ton of this stuff to hand out to you guys. and you can use as you need it. And then secondly, we have our homegoing tithing program. This kind of creates, you can leave this with church leaders, and this just kind of gets their wheels turning on how to use this type of policy within their church. So, they can set it up so that they're the 10% beneficiary, right? Kind of make it as a part of a tithing program. Another idea is to just create like a chapel gift, right? Where 100% of the benefit goes right to the church. They can list themselves as the owner or the payer, or, quite simply, doesn't hurt to just present to the congregation, whether it be on a Sunday or whether it be like a Saturday morning group or Bible study or whatever it is, presenting this as an option. If you don't have life insurance and you want to take something out to take care of your final expenses and or leave something for your family, this is a great company to work with. So one of the thing we like to do or show is if 25 members of a church do take out a policy, we will purchase them a plaque to be put in their lobby so that, that'll be considered like an LCBA church, right? So you've got 25 policy holders or more. LCBA will pick up that plaque, by a nice, bright, shiny plaque with all the policy holders listed on there as a memorial. So that's the church plan concept. Here's my incentive program I worked with Bill on. I know you guys just got done with an incentive program. This, I post lead concepts on here. That was the program that I guess we've been working with recently. But truthfully, I mean, this kind of goes for anything you guys want to use. So whether it be this company or another one, the idea here is every $3,000 in annualized premium is going to purchase you 100 credits towards lead concepts or towards another platform. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So 100 credits is $100. The idea is when I say credit, that's just meant to be interpreted as it needs to be used towards leads. Okay. So use this program, you do a $3,000 annualized premium, you're getting $100 towards a lead program. So the one we just experienced there, right? Seems very affordable. Seems like it could fit very well with this program. $3,000 annualized premium. That's a matter of what? A policy. Could be a 1.5 policies that you write, So you write 1.5 policies with us. There you go. You get some credits built up. You start snowballing that, you're going to have a nice little bank built up that you can then put towards leads that will then purchase you more policies, right? So it's a self-fulfilling wheel there. It's a flywheel that works in your favor. And like I said, you can use these for whatever, direct mail, internet leads, seminar leads, does not matter. I don't care where we send the money, right? Bill's going to say, hey, send it here, send it there. It does not matter to me. We take the production that you submit, and then we send that out to whichever vendor that you want to use. Is perfectly fine by me. Real quickly, just want to get into the benefits of LCBA. So in that beginning meeting, I talked about how we use the sale of financial products to help with member benefits. We have a wide range of benefits listed on our website. Here's just a few. My favorite one is this bereavement benefit program. So anytime a policyholder passes, the family can receive a tree seedling sent to the family in honor of their lost loved one. So there's a nice letter that comes with that, and it's a nice little tree seedling. It's actually based upon where they live, what type of tree grows best there. So can be an evergreen, but it's not always an evergreen. And then there's a grief recovery program booklet series. So this lady works very diligently in the grief side of the death care industry, and she's created this booklet series that helps family members cope with the loss of a loved one that full year after they pass. So they have that recovery program booklet to receive. Or a very nice benefit here is if you're working with veterans and a veteran passes away, we send them a cherry wood flag case. So those big triangle cherry wood flag cases that hold those flags, they don't ever give those out. The veterans qualify for receiving a flag from the government for their service, but they don't ever have anything to put that in. So we give them that cherry wood flag case if they're a veteran. A couple other discount programs here. So prescription discount cards are available, hearing discount programs, free hearing aid batteries, discounts on services, just little things like programs like that we offer. And then finally, we do our scholarships. This is probably our most popular program that we do. And basically, a policyholder's kids or grandkids can qualify for those scholarships. So elementary school, secondary school, post-secondary, camping, road scholar. This is an easy one, guys. So if you have a policyholder, you can get back with them, remind them to apply for the scholarship. That gets you in front of your client again, and then perhaps they win the scholarship, or their grandson wins a camping scholarship, right? You get to call that client back up, say, hey, Mrs. Jones, congratulations, little Johnny won the camping scholarship. It's just a good call to make. It's something outside of just trying to sell insurance or calling about dealing with a claim, right? It's another nice, easy, fun way to contact your client and say, hey, they won something, through LCBA. So that's a popular program. And yeah, so that's the majority of our benefits. We're always looking to add on more benefits, but that's the spectrum for today. So a couple of common questions here I can go through. I'll go through each of these. I'll kind of just touch on each of them. E&O coverage is only required for the traditional whole life plan, right? That traditional fully underwritten plan. You do need to know a little bit more about regular insurance in order to sell that plan. But fraternal licenses, fraternal agents don't typically carry E&O. So they can sell the pre-need and they can sell the final expense hybrid plan. Writing numbers. Bill has been putting me to the test on writing numbers. I've got agents coming in constantly on a steady flow. So we have been shooting for 1 week from the date of issue, or from the date that we received the contracts. We were very busy there in November and December, and I think we've been able to kind of level that out. So we can get writing numbers out in as quick as 7 business days is safe to assume. Commissions are paid based upon premiums received. So we pay all commissions based upon when we reach out for that policy premium. So if the policy doesn't start for a week, that commission is not going to run until that policy is generated, till that premium is pulled from that bank account. And then from there, that report's generated. It takes about 2 to 3 days for that money to hit your bank account. Your bank actually receives it as soon as we send it, but the banks typically, on their end, they don't show it for another 2 or 3 days. Trainings, you guys have Bill Feggins Academy, of course. He's got weekly trainings. He's got, two times a week, he's running trainings for you guys. He's always presenting new ways to sell insurance, new concepts, new marketing ideas. So stick with Bill. He's got plenty of marketing content for you. We've got some videos on our portal. We do a walkthrough of the digital application so that you can go through and see how that works. We've got forms on the agent portal, and we've got I'm happy to do one-on-ones. I think that's something that I think's been big with this group. I just did a couple here recently with some folks on the call, and I just appreciate those, because then we can kind of dig into the details of where the issues are, where the pain points are, what can I help you with. So guys, don't be afraid. I'm trying to be available as much as possible. If you do want a one-on-one, or if you want to reach out and have a quick Zoom, I'm happy to jump on. We can take 10 minutes, we can take 30 minutes, but really just kind of go through and make sure that you're comfortable and you understand how all these products work. So don't be afraid to use me in that aspect. As far as captive, this is an independent group, right? So we do everything directly with LCBA and with Bill. So you're not captive. You do not have to solely use us. We want to be a piece of your portfolio. We're not asking you to use us for everything, but at the same time, obviously, don't send us an agent unless they have an idea that they'd like to write something here in the near future. But certainly not. You guys are not captive with LCBA. You can choose to write whoever you wish at any time. And then as far as volume capacity goes, I've said this before and I'll say it again, it's a digital platform. It's a digital setup. So everything is automated. Once that policy is submitted to us, it is placed into our LifePro system immediately, and then we generate that report immediately. So underwriting is very, very minimal, and we have issued policies going out within 5 days. Production caps, the beautiful thing with production is on the final expense hybrid, you cannot sell enough of this. So we've designed this product to understand it to be a high risk product in that pre-need type market, assigning these over to a memorial trust that will ultimately be paid out to a funeral home or to a cemetery. You guys, you can't oversell that product. So the final expense hybrid is game on, green light, do whatever you want with that. There's obviously a reserve pool set up for that to protect you and to protect us. But the final expense hybrid plan, we start everybody through Bill's group. We start everybody on final expense hybrid. If you want the traditional product, right, we can turn that on for you. That's fine. If you want the pre-need, the traditional pre-need product, we can turn that on for you. You have to have some funeral home owner basically give you the green light, but we've got those two options for you as well. The focus here is final expense hybrid. You guys can't overwrite that. It's easy to place people. You can get them something, you can get them some kind of coverage no matter what with the final expense hybrid. So those are common questions. I've got, let me see here. I've got, I think a chat set up here. Let's see. Yeah. Ellis wants the contract. No problem. We'll send you a contract. That's Ellis, I'll need your email. So I'll put my email in the chat here, and then you can send it over to my email and we'll get you a contract. Sheila, thank you. You're welcome very much. And Scott says, are the products available in New Jersey? They are available in New Jersey, Scott. What I'll say is the final expense hybrid is available in New Jersey. The pre-need is not. The traditional pre-need is not today available in New Jersey. The final expense hybrid is, and the traditional product is available in New Jersey. So we do have options for you in New Jersey. And yep, I got your email here. I'll copy that and I'll send you a contract after this call.
Matt, I have a question.
Sure.
So let's say I go to a funeral home and I get a funeral director to sign that authorization, I guess, form, right?
Yep.
But let's say I have a fraternal agent that works with me and they want to do pre-need, right?
Yep.
Do they have to get one signed for them to be able to have that on their system?
No, you should be fine, Michelle. So if we're talking about like your setup specifically, your group then would have that funeral home to use, right?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're fine. And fraternal agents can write the traditional pre-need. So yeah, you're all set up.
Okay then. So I just have to get one signed before I can see the pre-need in my.
So yes, that's a great point. With traditional pre-need, it first and foremost, because I think a lot of folks reach out and they say, hey, I don't have the pre-need calculator. I want the traditional pre-need. We need the funeral home info in first, right? We can't have you quoting a product that you don't have access to until we get the funeral home paperwork in. So there's, I think, 4 forms. There's like a claims direct deposit. There's a W-9 for taxes. There's like a funeral home owner sheet. And then there's like a supplemental form. So I'll send Bill, I think you have those forms, but I'll send them again. There's 4 forms. If you have a funeral home that wants to sign up and do this, we need their sign off on it. And we've got a couple folks submitting them now. We've got funeral homes coming in, so that's cool. It's available, and yeah, just submit that, and then you'll have access to the calculator, and you'll have access to the application on the digital portal.
And when you say do this, you mean they may not be on board to writing policies, but on board to receiving clients.
Yes, great point. On board means they are okay with you selling pre-need that is tied to their funeral home.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they don't have to write it. They just need Michelle to write it. And
Right.
They're approving Michelle to write out of their funeral home. Yeah.
Right. But anybody on my team, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. So yeah, if you've got a downline, then yeah, that goes for your downline. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
Mr. Matt, Shannon here. How you
Hey,
doing, sir?
Shannon.
I have a question. What if you're in an area that already has a funeral home that is already assigned to do pre-needs in your area? Can you piggyback off the person that signed the funeral home up, or you have to go to create your own? You have to create my own relationship with the same funeral home.
Are they with LCBA? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. If they're with LCBA, and this is a good question. So if they're with LCBA and they'd rather have you write the pre-need instead of them,
It's not my question. My question is, if I'm in an area that LCBA has already signed the funeral home up,
okay.
I'm in an area, do I have to go and get another authorization from the same funeral home, or can I piggyback off the one that's already in place?
That's a good question. That's more of like a hierarchy question, right? So it's how they would choose to be paid. If they're already contracted with LCBA, chances are they're in some sort of direct contract or with another group or another hierarchy, right? So they would have to, they would have to get another set of forms signed to be with you, like with your group, Shannon. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Matt, I got one question. With the fraternal agents, I understand that they can write 2 products as opposed to 1.
So fraternal agents have access to 2 products. So the
Okay.
traditional pre-need and the final expense hybrid. If you have a regular license, you have access to all 3.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
But they do have at least access to 2 products.
Mhm.
Thank
Correct.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Sir, this is Ellis. I deal with a lot of Medicare and Medicaid clients. And from my understanding, if they get a policy more than $10,000, they'll get kicked off of Medicaid. I believe in one of your webinars before you had mentioned that there was a way around that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good question. So with any pre-need or with final expense hybrid plan, right, you have the ability to irrevocably assign it to our memorial trust. And what that does is, in irrevocably assigning it, you're removing that policy out of that applicant's name. So they may be on Medicaid, but they still have a right to burial funds. They still have a right to take out a plan for final expense purposes. So yes, they're only allowed so much in assets. If they're on Medicaid, I forget what the number is. It's very low. It's very low. So it could easily kick them out of Medicaid status if they were to take out a plan that grew in value. When you assign that, when you irrevocably assign that out of their name to our memorial trust, that allows them to have that plan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, guys, I got a bit of a cold today, so hopefully I didn't get into a coughing fit. So at least that's a positive. But I'm a little hoarse here, so just work with me.
Okay, so if I let's say I go to Marshall's and Marshall's already has LCBA there, right? There's an agent there, but they're not necessarily writing. They got an authorization to be able to send clients there. I would have to get another separate one.
Yeah. So the good news,
Yeah, I just want to make sure I explain this right when I talk to the memorial director, because if somebody else comes in behind me, it's like,
so that's a great.
I already did.
Right. That's a great point, Michelle. Let's talk about that, right? So if John Smith is writing with LCBA and he's pre-need and he's direct with LCBA, and then you come in and say, "Oh, I want to be able to write with your funeral home," they're going to come in under your group, right? So he would have to leave the direct relationship with us to go write for you. And so just like with you, if someone else comes in and says, "Hey, I want you to write with my group," right? He'd have to sign off to leave your group to write with someone else. So we don't want to get into that. We want to make sure that everyone's where they want to be, right? So we need those forms to show, yes, I want to leave where I'm at currently and go work underneath this group.
Okay, so that funeral home would have to leave one group to sign another group, if that's what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah. So if they're already contracted with us, and we don't have a ton in Maryland. So if you guys are in Maryland, there's really not a lot of LCBA homes down there. We're mostly in Pennsylvania and Ohio, but But yeah, if you do come across that and they are currently writing with LCBA, we'd have to have that discussion about, okay, these are the differences if you stay where you are versus if you go with Michelle or with whoever, which we can do, you know, as they come up, we can kind of work them through that and decide which is best.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Miss Matt, is there a list of funeral homes that's already contracted with you guys in Maryland?
Oh, that sounds dangerous, Shannon.
Because at the end of, because what you just said, what I just heard was that I can go talk to the same funeral home and offer them a better contract to get them to leave the previous person that signed the contract, which I really don't want to do.
Yeah.
Avoid talking to funeral homes that's already contracted with you guys, because as a life insurance agent code of conduct, I don't want to backbite anyone that's already making money with you guys.
Right.
That's making money.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Let me jump into that, because
Okay, go ahead.
if let's say a funeral home is already in the network of LCBA, that doesn't mean the funeral director or their staff can't work with you. You know, because if you're doing a pre-need and the funeral director already is going to sign off, it could be 10 agents. They don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, they're still signing off on a cost and goods and service to a service, you know, that you're sending off to LCBA. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's say we have a funeral home here in Philly, and I know one agent got it. That's fine. But let's say if a client from another agent, and the client says, I want to go to that funeral home, okay, and that funeral home is in the network, and I know that, great. Hey, you know, I know you're in the network with LCBA. I know you work with such and such, but I have a client that actually wants to go to your funeral home. I know you're with LCBA. Can you sign off on mine? Not a problem. They're going to do it. It's the same thing. So it's not like they're exclusive. And if they have one, they can get as many pre-need carriers as they want to, by the way. That doesn't they're not with one, you know, they might be with more. They don't understand our industry, by the way. The funeral directors don't understand our industry. They're not captive. They don't have to have one company. They might have other competitors there. So it's okay if you adding LCBA to it. It's okay if another agent is doing it, because it could be other agents doing other carriers in there. You know, the point is that if I'm a funeral director, I'm taking any business. As long as I'm in the network, I'll sign off on whoever gives me the business. So I just want to drop that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Bill. Thank you. Yeah, I think that the nuance there is who's writing the business. If they want you to, you know, they don't care. They could have you come in and write the business, Shannon. You write the business for them out of their funeral home. And if Joe Smith in the funeral home wants to do his own pre-need, he can do his own pre-need. But if you want to come in and do your own, that's a whole separate thing. So that's
okay. That's my question. The first time I asked if their funeral homes already contracted with you guys now, can I go in there and do a pre-need because it's already set up?
I see.
And I thought you told me no.
Because
I had to get contract under my name versus the person that's already in there.
Right. That's tricky because that's personal information. I don't know if I should hand out a client list of current funeral homes that are with us. Let me think about that one, Shannon. You got me thinking on that one. And then who gets that list? Do I give it to all you guys, and then you guys are calling the funeral home asking to sign up? So I gotta be careful with that.
And, you know, my thing is everybody wants a list of how many. The other competitors are not going to give you a list of the funeral home. You just got to ask the funeral director, are you already working with LCBA? If they say, what's that? Perfect. It opens right up, because a lot of them are not. And the ones that are working with LCBA, they're probably not being really worked a lot, because that funeral home is probably working with a ton of agents or something like that they can work. So it doesn't matter, honestly, to me, because some of them are not even doing pre-need, period. These are mom and pops. We don't know who is doing what. And the thing is, if you're calling around like, well, this funeral home's already worked with LCBA, I could just do. Remember, the client, the way I'm training it is the client is choosing what funeral home they want to go to. The sell is I've been to this funeral home before over here. You know, that's local or something. It may not be an LCBA's network, or it may. The point is that you're calling that funeral home and you're asking them, hey, what pre-need companies do you work with? Right. You know, I'm a broker. I could work with all of them. And I'm just saying this is training because it works out better, because they might say, well, I'm not with LCBA. And if they are with LCBA, great. I have a client I need you to sign off on. I assume that they already know what they're doing. Great. I have a client I need you to sign off on. They got, I called you up. I got, you got a price list. They got 10,000 in coverage. They're looking for a traditional funeral, and I know that yours is around 8,000. So what they do is they say, oh, okay, come on in. They already know. They don't,
Okay.
they're not like captive to like one agent. Now they might want to work with one. Well, we work with somebody already with LCBA. Say, well, maybe they work with us, but this is my client. See, remember, you're introducing your client to the funeral director,
Well,
and you don't have to give them the business, but they're going to want the business.
can I interject, please, sir?
What'd you say?
I like that. I like that because I don't have to go and find a funeral home because it's already established. Is that okay to do? Because that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Because yes, sir.
No, yeah, you're right. We're looking at two different sides, right? So Bill's talking about you've got the thing, you've got the client, right? And you're helping the client end up at the funeral home. So that's different than walking up to the funeral home and saying, hey, can I use your service? They say, no, you don't got to, get out of here. But if you come with a client and you say, hey, I got so-and-so wants to use you, I'm with LCBA.
They open the doors because you got a client, because we want to work with that funeral director. We don't know them. So if we call up and they're in the network, they don't know us. You have no client. Why should I talk to you? Why should I work with? I don't even know you. But if I call them up and say, hey, I'm a funeral planner. Hey, I have a client for your pre-need client. Do you work with LCBA? No. Great. Let's do a one-on-one or something like that. Let me go talk to him. That's when you go in there, you can talk to that funeral director, and Matt can talk to him, do a Zoom, or I can. We can get them all the literature they need. Next thing they say is, okay, well, send me the forms I need to fill out. Guys, if they already do pre-need, they are the same forms Matt filled out. They do it with every company. You got to get in the network. So this way Matt can do claims and everything else. They got to get it. So if you have that network paperwork, you're good.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if there's a group of funeral homes already in the network, I don't have to go do the legwork. I can just say, you know what? On the east side of Boston.
All right, Shannon, I'll send you all the funeral homes, okay? You other guys, you won't. I'm just gonna send them to Shannon. Is that cool? Is that good with everybody?
But I would like but I want to be correct in what I'm saying though. If they are in the network, can I just say, hey, so Brown's funeral home is in the network? Would you be okay with taking funeral there? If they say yes,
it's up to
the network is already done.
Yeah, it's up to the client's discretion. See, I leave it up to the client because I want the client to feel comfortable. And when I call that funeral home,
exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask them. But if they say yes,
I got what you're saying.
Because I have a list of funeral homes.
Yeah, you can do it that way. Yeah,
okay.
That's
my question.
I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it easy, for them. And
okay. I was thinking. See, Shannon, that's my fault. I was thinking you're going to go knock on the door and say, I want to write the pre-need for the funeral home. You just want to offer a funeral home that LCBA currently uses.
Right. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
We all need that.
Yeah.
But we all use that.
Yeah. I have a question though, but the thing is this: in order for us to be able to write pre-need and get pre-need on our thing to be able to write a company, right? I have to produce something from a funeral home. You see, I can't go in, I can't even quote pre-need right now.
So that's where
be able to do that. See, that's where I'm getting stuck.
Right. So I guess that's where the final expense hybrid becomes popular, right? Because you don't need those forms with a pre-need side. You effectively have a pre-need with a final expense hybrid platform.
I know, right?
So
but I have want to go to a specific funeral home, right? So they don't necessarily want to be in a hybrid. They want to go plan it.
Okay.
So
they want a goods and services contract with a specific funeral home.
Right. So I would need to do a pre-need for them.
If they want a specific goods and services with a funeral home, yeah, you need to coordinate with that funeral home.
Right, exactly. So even other agents, if they get that kind of client, they have to go to that. They have to get paperwork for. So I can't even quote them a price.
The price between final expense and pre-need is identical. I mean,
they're identical. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's easy. But if like Bill said, if you go to a funeral home and say, I have a pre-need client, I'm going to write them up, why wouldn't they say, oh yeah, let me fill out forms so that you can write them with pre-need with LCBA through my funeral
So
home.
if I could tell a new agent that basically pre-need for your client would be the same, whatever you get in the hybrid is going to be the same for pre-need.
Yes.
And they can base it on that. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I need to know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, guys, it's noon.
Okay.
I'm real hoarse here. I'm losing my voice. So I appreciate the time very much. This has been great. Thank you, Bill, for the platform. Thank you for having me on today.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, Matt. And I know we'll be talking again. I'll get these some emails to you, get these contracts out. Guys, anybody watching this recording, you can get back to me at Bill Feggins Academy at Gmail if you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram, or anything I send over about this great opportunity. I'm going to be making many more videos coming up shortly. The competitive advantage of LCBA, against your current strategy, what you're doing business. And we're gonna have Matt come down to the Philadelphia office, on the 27th, guys. So, if you can make it, Matt, and be there. And also we're doing a little tour too. So I know, me and Matt were talking about other destinations too as well. So we'll be down in the DMV, and coming down to Georgia too, because it's blowing up. A lot of agents want to jump on our crusade right now. So be in the mix, guys. We're doing this again on Friday. So Matt could do a little 30-minute episode again, doing some training, guys. So thank you guys for being on here. I'll be getting back with you guys. You can text me, email me, if you need me. I got another Zoom about wills, living wills, power of attorneys, and trust next, so we can add that to the platform. All right. So I'm trying to get some more products for you guys too, so you can help your clients out.
Appreciate it, Miss Matt, Mr. Bill. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good
Hey,
one.
appreciate you, Shannon. Thanks a lot, guys. God bless. See you Friday.
God bless. Thank you so much.